Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm going to try and build a supercharged K series Z Cars Mini. Should be fun. Okay YouTube, so hi, my name's Dom. Basically I'm going to be building a K series Z Cars Mini kit. Planning to supercharge it, sequential gearbox, lots of other trick bits as well. Never done a YouTube channel, video or anything before, so bear with me. I'm a pretty amateur, as you'll soon find out. This basically is the kit so far. So started it a little while ago, before Z Cars hit the wall about 3 years ago. Since then I've built a garage extension, so there's sort of another 10 foot which starts about there, added on to the end. So I've now got a 20 foot garage, added on to 10, so 30 foot in total. Basically trying to get this kit done as quickly as possible, trying to hopefully get it done for the international mini meet in Bristol next year, but not looking promising. Already really struggling with parts, especially carbon fibre and fiberglass bits from a couple of suppliers which were 12 weeks and have now been waiting 6 months for. But basically I've got to a point now where I thought, right, it's all starting to come together. I finished all the house, had a baby about 2 years ago, so you know, finally getting a chance now to get out in the garage and crack on with the kit. So I thought I'd bring you guys along really. Started a Facebook page with it on, and quite a few of you said, look, you should try and do YouTube videos to keep us up to date and just sort of, you know, show us what you're up to. So thought, well, why not? Hell, let's give it a go. As I said, started with the kit a little bit, got the back all cut out, and it's just sat in there at the moment. Just try and get the front subframe on today is the plan. Try and get it all lined up a bit better. Got the subframe built, which is down here. We got the new Gaz shocks because they've gone over to Gaz from Power Shock shock absorbers. I have the Power Shocks in the back because that just came with the kit when I bought it. But there we are, so we've got that. Gone for 7x13s all round, including the old Revolution wheels. Went as slick as I could go because I'm going to be running quite a bit of power through there. So I've got the front subframe all built together. Boxes of parts still to sort through, which I'll sort of unbox in the next few episodes, and then basically the kit as it stands at the moment. So let's get cracking, I guess. Finished cutting out the front bulkhead now, so as you can see I've sort of kept it right down to where the double skins sort of lap up against each other for a bit of strength all the way around. Need just tidy up along the top edge a little bit underneath, but it's not too bad at all. Just get that tidied up with a bit of an air nibbler. Hopefully the plan is to box that out so it'll come out across and down the front as well, straight across. That will give me a load more space actually in the cab itself. So as I can mount all my ECUs, all my other wiring will be in there behind the dashboard. So in fact I'll sort of have around a foot in depth in there. The other reason really why I'm doing that is that the front subframe I've got, for some reason, the two turret bolts, the distance between them don't line up with the turret bolt holes on the bulkhead, which is another one of my headaches that I've had. Just like to sort of point out at this point that since Z Cars relaunched a few years ago, we got Lawrence and who's his mate who helps him out? The boss man, David. Basically, they've been brilliant helping me out since then. Obviously, I inherited this kit from the old company in effect, so it's not quite their fault as such, but they're obviously my point of contact trying to get things fixed. So yeah, it turns out that's about 15mm too wide, the holes are on the bulkhead. Bulkhead all looks original, it's in all keeping with the rest of the paint on the car, so I can only assume that is the actual subframe which is wrong and not the kit itself. I'm sorry, not the bulkhead itself. So basically the plan of action is to make these holes bigger on both parts, just to give me room to move it around wherever I need to move it around to, but I'm not going to use that as a structure. What I'll do is I'm going to cut all this off, get a U-shaped bit of steel bent underneath, up the front and across the top there, weld it in all the way along, basically create a new box section across there with the correct spaced holes. Obviously that fit my front subframe that I've got. That way then it'll be a nice straight flat edge across the front, which also I can box down over the top and down there, which will give me loads of space inside to mount, as I said, ECU, etc. all the master cylinders for the brakes, although I might be floor mounting that. I'm just trying to look at space and what I can do with that. So I think the next job now, for get the rest of the sort of cage in, is to cut out the dash rail, get that out, and then that should give me room to get these bars through, mount all this up, and then hopefully that will start lining everything up a little bit better. So let's crack on. Okay, so the dash rail is now all cut out all the way along, and back across there. Obviously just need to sort of tidy up a few of the edges. Try to grind back and flat back. But that's all now clear. So I think this next thing is trying to elongate these holes, get a front subframe on, because that's where you really build the kit back from. So I'm going to get the front on and bolt it up loosely. At least then I'll be able to pull the frame up to the correct angles and get obviously where the mounting points will be inside the cab. Oh, well, it's a hot day here and making the hard work of cutting out the shell. So I've now elongated out the holes slightly. Obviously this is not going to be the final mount, it's just to allow room for it to actually sit in there. So I think the next thing to do really is just to line up the subframe, try and get it bolted in, centre up as best I can, loosely speaking, just so I can sort of mock up where the rest of the shell is going to sit, until obviously I put that actual bracket on and weld it all in place. So we'll get that done next. So front subframe is on. I've not done the bottom bolts yet. Seem quite fortunate actually, because on all the DVDs that they send out with the kits, and also a few that I've seen online, they say that you need to put a packer in a lot of the kits where it mounts underneath. But mine seems to be really flush. So well pleased with that. A little tiny gap there. Looks worse actually on the camera than it is in real life. It may pull itself up actually. Well, yeah, I can see by the angle it's kicked out that it will pull itself back up nice and tight. So there's no packer needed, so that's ideal. As I said, this is just really temporary put together. So obviously the elongated holes, you can see there how much I've had to elongate those out. It's really just so as I can get it all lined up. What I can do is I can adjust the angle of where the frame is by lining up the mounts for the steering rack there with the holes on the actual bulkhead. So I can just give that a knock along so I know it's all centered up at least for now, until I fully get it in place properly. Once I've got all that sheet metal work done on the front, strengthen the bulkhead and realign those lines. So yeah, well pleased. Got that on now. It's time to get those sidebars on, and then that will dictate how upright the rear frame is, and get all those angles in place and mark up the flooring where all the brackets need to go to add some extra width and depth to the metalwork, so as when I bolt the frame to it, it's not just going through to the sheet metal of the shell, it's a bit thicker and hopefully a bit stronger as well. So that's the next job. Okay, so that's the first few bolts in. So again, I've not put any washers in yet because it's just first fix to sort of get it lined up. So key bolts are in through the bulkhead, and I've just popped a couple in here just sort of line it up again, just finger tight. I've put washers on and things, but just finger tight, just sort of again get it loosely lined up with where it's got to go. Gaps will look pretty straight, which is good. I've just got to tighten up here now. You can see the frame, the main frame in the back needs to be pushed back a bit so that actually reaches onto those tabs up there. It's probably forward by about a couple inches actually. So what I need to do is try and jack the back of the car up so the back of the frame actually tilts back downwards, and then this will all line up. Now let's put the nuts and bolts in and then tighten them all through. So that's the next bit. Go. Front subframe's in. Obviously got the bottom bolts to connect them, get it all lined up exactly right before I mark it all out, but then connected through. You can see it comes through. So I said boxing right to the very front of where the turret bolts are, always that's going to give me so much more room in the cab for bits. Bring that up across the top, all bolted in, which has made it all upright to where it's got to be. Floor will pull itself up once it's all bolted too. That's this side here. Down. Again, I'm not fully tightened up, but I want to crimp it right up until it's the final fit as such. But I'm well chuffed with that. Just need to take a bit more out of the arch. It's already taken out a bit. Obviously you can see the black line, which is Z Cars recommendation. But obviously went inside, I didn't want to take up more than what I needed to. I've got obviously full carbon Miglia arches coming, so once they come I'll test fit them, see how much space I've got, and then see if I need to trim up any more from there and go from there really. Obviously don't want to cut too high. So that's all looking good. Next thing what I might try and do is just get this crossbar in across for the steering column and things. So I think that'll be our next job. Okay, so that's the top bar in. Again, just sort of tightened up, nipped up, but not over tightened. And then the steering brace bar. Now, just caused a bit of confusion. Yes, I do have an English accent. Yes, I'm in England. So you're thinking, why have I got a left-hand steering crossbar? That's exactly what I'm thinking. As I said to you at the start of this episode and the start of the whole build, I basically bought a kit just before Z Cars hit the wall. Obviously they went to liquidation and things. I had to go up Christmas Eve and basically pick up my kit, or what I had of my kit. So loads of parts missing. And obviously one of the bits they threw in for me was this crossbeam, which was left hand. So if someone had a left hand one, sorry, I've got your crossbeam here. Yeah, so I've fitted it anyway. Basically because I'm doing my own mounting bracket anyway to have my own steering rack. So the plan is basically just to make sure it fits, and then I'll grind it off, and then that will actually give me flexibility of where exactly I'm going to line it all up when I get my seats mounted. And again, before everyone starts commenting, which I probably already have, about me grinding in here with all the framework, basically I'm going to be welding the frame to the actual shell itself in any case. So grinding through all this powder coat, so I'm not unduly worried a few sparks going on it. Basically put a few braces down here and on the other side just to strengthen it up, across the top bar to the roof and along the top there. So I'm going to basically weld in braces all the way around it just to stiffen up, although it's sort of a space frame, so it doesn't actually matter. The shell's just got to not drag along the floor basically. I'm still going to try and stiffen up the whole shell and stop it flexing, because I'm going to have so much carbon fibre and fiberglass on it that every bit of strength I can get will be useful. But there we are, so well pleased with today's effort so far. Frame's all in, just need to sort of make sure it all lines up a bit better, just tweak it around on the floor, make sure it's all sort of squared up. Again, I'm not drilling through and doing any of that yet. I'm going to do all that when I go to the fabricators in a few weeks, who are going to help me fabricate a few bits and do a bit of welding on it. As you can see, the shell's pretty good nick really, a bit of surface rust down there, but the shell itself is really tidy, so not too much to do. I'm going to be cutting off the roof because it's going to be having a carbon fibre roof panel, carbon fibre doors. I go next week to pick up the front end, which is full carbon fibre, but it's going to be gel coated but with a carbon fibre open weave bonnet. So I'll pick that this week, sorry, next week. So that will help me. I'm going to do a pretty special flip front. That's the idea for it in any case. So. well, thanks for keep watching the video until the end, I suppose. It's my first video, as I said, new to YouTube doing this, so if you've liked the episode so far, want to be kept up to date with how the project basically continues, then hit like and subscribe. That'd be really appreciated, and share with your mates as well if you're interested in minis, something a bit different, or just car lovers in general, really. In the next episode, I'm going to try and get out the seat furniture that's in there, then I can hopefully get the seat brackets made up, get it all dry fitted as well. Basically, I'm just trying to get as much dry fitting done as I can before it goes off to paint. So try and get all the bits that need cutting, bolting, drilling done, so that I'm not going to have to muck about with all the nice fresh paint. And hopefully I'll know how to put it all back together next time round. So as I said, if you really enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. And I'll leave you on a little teaser for the next episode, I guess.